We've come behind the scenes of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1, where Harry, Ron and Hermione are searching for Horcruxes, objects that will help them destroy the evil Lord Voldemort. One of them is in the possession of their old enemy, Dolores Umbridge, here at the heavily guarded Ministry of Magic. So, Dolores Umbridge has the locket that Harry, Ron and Hermione must steal, which is a bit of a nightmare, really, because she's working at the Ministry of Magic, which, of course, is crawling with Death Eaters. So, they need to find a cheeky way in, because they can't go in the usual routes, and they certainly can't go in as themselves.
We take Polyjuice Potion to become other people. We become 3 other people that we don't know really anything about, but we know they work in the Ministry.
A little bit of Polyjuice Potion and a sneaky back door is what they need. Fortunately, there's a very convenient entrance in a very unusual place. Do I flush? You may remember that the last time we saw the Ministry of Magic in Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, it was blown to smithereens. For this film, the set was painstakingly rebuilt to exactly the same specification, with one exception: this statue, which reflects the dark times in which this film is set. The design of the statue was influenced by several historical sculptures, particularly from Soviet Russia and pre-war Germany, and shows the oppression of the Muggles, or non-wizarding folk. That's you and me, in other words. There are around 50 of these figures, and each took 2 weeks to handcraft. They were all made by one man. There's 3 characters who work in the Ministry that we've never seen before, necessarily. Yep. Suddenly, you guys are impersonating them. Polyjuice, yes. You become them.
Yes.
So someone was being you, being themselves.
Yes. It is odd, because we were sort of then, me, Rupert and Emma have consultancy roles behind the monitor.
Do you get a proper seat?
I think if I get proper seats anyway, you're getting on a day-to-day level.
Let's take the star seats out of it. Do you get, like, consultants to...
No, unfortunately, we didn't. I'm definitely angling for an extra credit, though.
Even if you're in the know, all this polyjuicing stuff is quite tricky to get your head around.
Got it! That's Ron! Yes!
So let's take this really slowly.
So there's this little character called Mafalda, who's really little secretary, and she's the one that Hermione gets in. So really, I'm a sort of flamboyant costume.
And so essentially right now, you are channeling...
I'm channeling, yeah.
Hermione... So it's Hermione being you... No, it's you being Hermione being you.
Yeah, no, it's me being Mafalda, then being Mafalda's body with Hermione in.
It's really straightforward.
Yeah, I'm trying not to think about it too much.
David, you are Dan, you are Harry, you are... I can't quite... I'm getting lost in who's who.
You're not the only one. I'm playing Albert Runcorn, and Dan takes his body over and pretends to be him in order to get into the Ministry of Magic.
You're actually impersonating Dan being Harry, but as yourself.
Yes.
Is that kind of what you're breaking it down to the essence of?
I'm impersonating. Could you just say that again?
You're being Dan, who's Harry, being you.
Dan, who's Harry, being me. Correct.
So
I'm being my character, being Dan, who's playing Harry, who's playing Runcorn, who's playing you.
Right.
Did you get that?
No. And in terms of that as a challenge for an actor.
Oh gosh, it's complicated to explain who I am. I'm actually Ron Weasley, as in I am Ron Weasley, but Ron Weasley for my sequences looks like this.
That's bloody disgusting.
We've had Rupert Grint down, sometimes running through the scenes before I do it, and I get to watch him and then watch him on camera as well, see what he does, and just try and do it like, well, a bit like Rupert would do it, but also how I interpret Ron as doing it. There's just something about the way he moves. It's quite low. I think that's kind of youth, really. You know, he's quite... I'm more kind of up here and trying to stand straight in that. And he's got that low centre of gravity, and he moves his shoulders kind of quite solidly. And he does a lot of looking up like that. So.
That's fascinating. and has he engaged with that? Has he kind of said, this is really eerie, I feel like you're doing me far too well?
No, he hasn't. Not at all. He looks a bit oddly at me now.
I don't do that.
One mustn't tell lies.
I actually prefer myself played by this kind of real tough guy.
Scottish.
David's quite tough and he's Scottish.
You're right, he's carrying that off, but he stupefies in a very dramatic way.
He stupefies in a much more dramatic way. He sounds like he's saying Superfly when he says stupefy, which I enjoy.
Stupefy! Deep in the bowels of the Ministry are a cluster of courtrooms that are playing host to a witch hunt, or rather a non-witch hunt, because the Ministry is on a desperate bid to purge society of anyone who isn't pure blood. And what's terrifying about this situation is that evil is now at the heart of everything that was once good. And it is here that Harry, Ron and Hermione find Professor Umbridge wearing the locket that they're seeking.
A wand was taken from you upon your arrival at the Ministry today, Mrs. Cattermole. Is this that wand?
A very intense scene happening just there. Can you just explain what was going on?
Yes, well, she's back on form, Dolores, in film 7, I think we're on, trying poor Mary Cattermole for not being a witch. So all those trials years ago for witches, trials. This is because you're not a witch. She's on trial.
Is it a loyalty to Voldemort that she has, or is it just authority and power that she loves?
I think she loves power, authority, and purity. And these people are not pure, and she's still trying to weed out the impure.
And that is sort of what Voldemort's all about as well, though, isn't it? So she is dark like that.
Yes, she's dark.
While these films are renowned for their spectacular sets, sometimes only the real thing will do, and Harry Potter does nothing by halves.
You do have to watch the moment where we shut down Piccadilly Circus for the first time in 32 years.
Extraordinary as it is to imagine, the Harry Potter team shipped into Piccadilly Circus 500 extras who played the passers-by, 35 cars, 15 black cabs, 1 limo, 5 buses, 1 police car and 2 rickshaws. They were joined by 500 crew, and they did this for 2 nights running. Unbelievable.
They actually closed the whole kind of Piccadilly Circus.
That must have been surreal.
Yeah, I mean, there was no kind of real people. There was all kind of extras and that. They kind of filled it with people.
Background action! Many years ago, I was a location manager. Someone had said to me, OK, we need to film in Piccadilly Circus. I would have said, OK, we better get someone else then, because I don't think I would have taken it on. It was a huge undertaking. But they managed to get everyone on side, all the shopkeepers on side, the police on side, the council on side, and close the streets, and there we were.
Not only did they close the streets, they also persuaded the local businesses to leave their lights on for the filming, to keep it looking as realistic as possible.
It was really cool, actually, yeah. And they had all these kind of, had their own, like, buses, double-decker buses going through. It was a mad day, yeah, but it was good.
The scene shows Harry, Ron and Hermione apparating into central London as their journey continues.
First of all, we stop at a cafe and...
Everything starts with a latte.
Absolutely.
Go. Leave.
Actually, there's a thing in there for people like me, spotters of sort of insignificant trivia, but there's in the cafe scene, you'll have to probably work quite hard to find it, but there is on the wall, there is an Equus poster.
Is there really?
Yeah, because I knew we were supposed to be filming this part of the scene supposed to take place near Shaftesbury Avenue.
Yeah.
And so I just sort of couldn't like resist. It's a really self-indulgent
Get it
joke,
in there.
but I just thought, it would just be really funny if I don't know really why.
As I know, Dan, often the best parts of any film are the hardest parts to see.
Yeah.
Like my part in the last film. 24 frames of magic.
Yeah.
But the people that know find it.
The people that look for it find it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where do we go from here? Vicky Cauldron?
We're sort of just sitting there minding our own business when 2 guys who look like builders or so they're sort of wearing overalls and stuff walk in and they go to the cafe and start. We think they're ordering coffee, but no, wait, a completely ulterior motive becomes very quickly apparent. One of the things I love about this film is that the 3 kids, absolutely no kind of training in terms of combat magic, are always better than any adult they face.
It's better that we just wipe their memories. If we kill them, they'll know we were here.
Now, in all the years I've been coming to the Harry Potter sets, I've never been allowed to get on a broomstick, but today I've been invited to G Stage, where they're prepping for another stunt, and I'm going to get to fly. And the flying, of course, has become quite a dramatic thing over the years, and it was such a closely guarded secret.
Yes. Whereas now, we'll just let you come in and film it.
Yeah, well, hopefully.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a go at some point. Yeah.
See, now, this is the thing, is that you're going to get on one of our new Quidditch brooms that's been around since the last 2 years.
Right.
Which is much nicer.
Oh, really?
Which has a bit more of a sort of tractor seat type affair for you to sit on, rather than the
razor knife.
Yes, rather than the bike saddle that it was before.
I've got
blood has been drawn from unpleasant places. We will put it like that.
Really?
Yeah.
You've
ages ago. It's all healed up now. It's fine.
That's really. Only here in the world of Harry Potter would you find a man who pays his bills by designing magical broomsticks. Just talk us through sort of where we've been and some of the brooms that we've got here.
OK, we've kind of got a slight history of broom making over the last 10 years, and we could start off here with the Nimbus 2000, which... I
love this broom. This was his first. This was Harry's
first? This is the first, yes, yeah. And it had a very strong styling because it had to stand out compared to the school brooms like the one we've got above us here.
So this was just a bog standard?
Bog standard, yeah. So the idea was with the bog standard brooms was that they were almost like when you remember at school when you got your cricket bats out and everyone chose one, everyone had the last one, the ratty one with the bits missing.
The rubbish
one,
kinda, didn't really fly straight, it was a bit rubbish, you never hit a six
never
off.
went left.
And there was always one kid who had a really nice one.
This is from the film we've been working on at the moment, and this has been built for Arthur Weasley. He loves his Muggle design. He's great. So he's got proper bicycle pedals and bicycle cranks. But this is a lovely bit of design. It's a great idea of the bike bag on the back. These are designed and built so that they could be put onto rigs in the green screen, and then they're thrown around the room. So they've got to be safe. So you actually have a broom here that's made of. It's got a titanium component. So that's all titanium castings.
It actually looks like a shotgun as well.
Exactly. It's that butt of a gun. That's a titanium casting. Titanium arms here because you have to get it as light as you can, but also incredibly strong.
How much would something like that be worth?
Well, if you think that we had to make 4 of them, so and we probably spent on the castings for all of them probably £25,000 on the castings alone. So yes, it's a lot of money, but. You can't dice with people's safety, really.
No, you can't.
No.
Or Mad Eye, because unless you're going to spend the best, he's going to be furious.
No, exactly. I don't want a thick ear from him.
Oh, my goodness me. I didn't think it was going to be anywhere near that. So we're talking over £100,000 just for the brooms that you've used for him, for all the castings and everything. And
yeah, and all the work, I'd say, for all the Moody brooms, because there are multiples, there's probably around that.
Now, titanium is used to build jet engines, missiles and spacecraft, as well as Harry Potter brooms. So it might be quite high up there, but at least I know I'm safe. So I've got to get my leg over there.
Yep. Go with your left leg. That's it.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, that's better. You're right, it's not comfortable, is it?
No, that's all. OK, is that better?
Yep, nice and tight. I'm strapped in.
Nigel, let's go live on the rig.
That wasn't me. Is it groaning under my weight? Is that the issue? Wow. Over the years, the team have made around 100 brooms in at least 20 different designs. There have been different broomsticks for different characters. Technology has changed, and of course the children who flew them in the early films are now taller and heavier adults. Oh, I feel like I'm getting into this now. Oh, hello. Oh, getting a bit more excited. Oh, hello. Dan's right. It isn't comfortable, but it is great fun. What I need now, though, is a bit of scenery. That's more like it. Right! I'm off home the quick way. But I'll be back after the break when we find out what happens when tensions start to rise between Harry, Ron and Hermione.
Stop! Stop!
Let go! Emma gives the boys a run for their money. And we find out who did this to Harry. They didn't tell me how to stop. Ah!